Did you know that incorrectly recorded odometer readings can lead to costly mistakes or even major legal issues? Well, stay tuned to learn exactly how to ensure yours is accurate and error-free. Because, seriously, a simple, incorrectly recorded string of numbers on your dashboard could lead to catastrophic mechanical failures, plummeting resale value, or, no joke, even federal prison time. The stakes are incredibly high, yet it's a detail that car buyers, sellers, and owners overlook literally every single day. Just look at this number for a second, $1 billion. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, that is how much odometer fraud costs consumers annually. That's a billion with a B. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are going to make sure you never become part of that statistic.
Here is our roadmap for today's Explainer. 1. Understanding your odometer. 2. Steps to record accurately. 3. Why accurate mileage matters. 4. Modern tools and tech. 5. Spotting fraud and mistakes. And 6. Conclusion and legal disclaimer.
Okay, let's dive right in with Section 1, Understanding Your Odometer and the Mechanics of Mileage. So, federal law defines an odometer as an instrument or a system of components for measuring and recording the total lifetime distance a motor vehicle is driven. Now, the absolutely crucial word there is lifetime. Unlike your resettable trip meter, which you might use to check gas mileage, the odometer is the definitive, permanent record of exactly how far that chassis has traveled since it first rolled off the assembly line. Now, how it actually tracks that distance really depends on the engineering. Older mechanical odometers use a physical gear train and rotating dials. And because they're mechanical, they can actually physically roll over back to zero once they hit their limit. Modern digital odometers, on the other hand, rely on electronic sensors pulling data directly from the engine control module. They are way harder to physically tamper with. But here's a wild fact. Because both of these systems fundamentally count wheel rotations, even simple changes, like installing a different tire size, can actually throw off the calibration and create an inaccurate reading. Moving on to Section 2, Steps to Record Accurately. Let's talk about staying on the right side of the law. Under 49 U.S. Code Section 32705, federal law requires a strict odometer disclosure whenever ownership changes hands. Here is your step-by-step guide. Step 1, you absolutely must record the exact current mileage, and we exclude tenths of a mile here, directly on the title or the secure reassignment document. Step 2, both the buyer and the seller have to sign and print their names, along with the exact date of transfer. And Step 3, this one is crucial. The seller must explicitly indicate if the mileage is accurate, if it exceeds mechanical limits because it rolled over, or if the actual mileage is just unknown due to some discrepancy. Missing even one of these steps makes the disclosure completely illegal. But wait, what happens if the odometer actually breaks and needs to be replaced? You definitely can't just guess the numbers. The law is incredibly specific here. Quote, if the mileage cannot remain the same, the person shall adjust the odometer to read 0. You then have to attach a permanent written notice to the left door frame. That sticker acts as the official, legal bridge to the vehicle's true historical mileage. Okay, here is a critical update you absolutely need to know. As of January 1st, 2021, federal rules now mandate odometer disclosure statements for vehicles up to 20 years old. They literally doubled the old 10-year rule. That means if you're buying or selling, say, a 2011 vehicle today, it is not exempt from these strict rules until the year 2031. All right, Section 3, Why Accurate Mileage Matters. Let's get into the high stakes of distance data. So why do we care so much? This brilliantly illustrates the immense practical value of a correct reading. First, maintenance. Accurate mileage completely dictates your maintenance schedule. It is the primary trigger for oil changes, tire rotations, and brake checks, and missing those can destroy an engine. Second, it dictates resale value. Legitimately lower mileage supports a higher fair market price when it's time to sell. And third, legal compliance. Without an accurate reading, you literally cannot legally transfer a title or register the vehicle. And if you ignore those compliance rules, you might be staring down this number, $10,000. Under federal law, knowingly violating odometer rules can result in a civil penalty of up to $10,000 per violation, capping out at $1 million. And if it's willful fraud, you're looking at federal felony charges and up to 3 years in prison. The government really does not mess around with mileage. Section 4, Modern Tools and Tech. Let's talk about automating your mileage tracking. For commercial fleets, relying on human beings to manually enter odometer readings carries a staggering 15 to 30% error rate. To combat this massive headache, fleets and modern drivers are utilizing comprehensive management platforms, plug-in telematics devices like Geotab or Verizon Connect, and OBD2 port scanners. These devices plug directly into the vehicle's diagnostic port to pull tamper-proof mileage straight from the engine control module in real time. Zero driver input required, zero guesswork. Now, what's really interesting about this is how that raw data is transformed into actual compliance. By automating the tracking, these apps and systems seamlessly generate the complex state mileage records required for things like IFTA tax filings, as well as bulletproof IRS logs. Because this data is timestamped in the cloud, it creates a completely tamper-evident history. So if there's ever a post-sale dispute, you've got a flawless digital paper trail backing you up.
Section 5. Spotting fraud and mistakes. How to protect yourself from rollbacks.
Odometer fraud, commonly called clocking, is a billion-dollar scam. Fraudsters literally roll back the mileage to artificially inflate the car's price. When you're inspecting a used car, you have to look out for these major red flags. First, look for a mismatch in condition. Does a car claiming to only have 30,000 miles have severely worn-out brake pedals, a completely frayed steering wheel, or sagging seats? That's suspicious. Second, pull a history report. Keep an eye out for strange gaps where the mileage suddenly drops between oil changes or state inspections. Third, look for brand new replacement parts, like rotors or an alternator, that really shouldn't have failed yet on a truly low-mileage car. And finally, inspect the dash itself. Misaligned numbers on mechanical dials or flickering screens and weird error codes on digital displays are huge warning signs of physical or digital tampering.
So let's say you're looking at a car, or maybe you just bought one, and you spot these exact red flags. What exactly should you do if you suspect an odometer rollback?
Here is your action plan. Step 1. If you haven't actually bought the car yet, simply walk away. It is absolutely not worth the risk. Step 2. If you already own it, immediately document all of your evidence. Take photos of the dash, gather up your maintenance records, and get a professional mechanic to pull the diagnostic module data with an OBD2 scanner to find the true hidden mileage. Step 3. Report the fraud to the NHTSA and your state's attorney general. Under federal law, victims can actually sue the defrauder for 3 times the actual damages, or $10,000, whichever is greater, plus attorney's fees. Section 6. Conclusion and legal disclaimer. Let's wrap up with our final takeaways. To summarize, getting your odometer reading right is literally non-negotiable. Accuracy protects your investment's resale value and ensures your engine receives the crucial maintenance it needs to survive. Whenever a vehicle changes hands or a dashboard is repaired, you must strictly follow those federal disclosure laws we talked about. If you manage a fleet or want to avoid mistakes, leverage modern OBD2 and telematics technology to pull verified data and eliminate human error entirely. And always keep a sharp eye out for rollback red flags like mismatch wear and tear. Please remember that this explainer is for informational purposes only. Always consult a qualified legal professional for any serious concerns or specific legal advice related to odometers. Every single mile recorded on your dash carries an immense financial, mechanical, and legal weight. So, the next time you put the key in the ignition, ask yourself, what hidden story is your dashboard really telling you?